Okay, well, we can go ahead and get started. I know some other people are going to trickle in, and a lot of people do watch the replays, Kathy. So if you want to go ahead and,
Yeah, I've heard that. People have called me and told me that. Yeah.
yes, yeah, very good. And again, we thank you very much for this. Very helpful.
Sure. So what's new this week? Well, we found out that one of the security guys, which I think are St. Louis County Police, that do the security for the courthouse in the county, came down with COVID.
Oh.
This means that the whole county court's reopening it's like in Candyland where you slide back down.
Oh,
We've slid back down 2 weeks as far as being able to have most things in person. So we're still doing the Zoom dockets there. We did a Zoom docket last week that worked fairly well, but it was a small docket. The problem is that they are not issuing, they're starting to issue new summonses, but they're for court dates that are really pretty far out, like the end of July. And we are just like begging them, to speed this up. They're going to start having staggered dockets. So defendants will be summoned at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or 11 o'clock. And this will work better because last week we did have defendants show up. I was kind of surprised at how many we had, but you can't really, but everything goes so slowly. You can't expect them to sit there on their cell phones for 2 hours waiting for their turn. And, people are going to run out of battery and that kind of thing. So we're going to ask that after we get to a certain number of defendants that the judge give our number and just ask them to call us. We hate to let them go, but, we were able to use DocuSign and get some judgments. The judge would send us into breakout rooms. And I got to tell you, this is where I think my firm is really doing well because we're going to always have 2 or 3 attorneys on these calls so the 2 of us can be in breakout rooms talking to people and another one can be answering the docket, interacting with the judge because the attorneys who just put one attorney on this, because I guess they think it's not important or, whatever, it's taking them forever. And they're losing people and it's just kind of a disaster. So I have 2 more laptops coming today that we're going to be able to use to do this. And the DocuSign is working really good. I think we were the first ones to figure that out. And that was Christine, not me. But we're able to, email a consent judgment to the tenant on their phone and they can sign it with their finger and send it back. We did not have any problems with the tenants being able to do this. I was very impressed at their level of technical skill, which is, greater than mine. And I was very pleased with the way that all went. Because otherwise you have to wait, get back in the queue and wait again and put on all the evidence before the judge. And, it's just another thing that's delayed. We still don't have any firm word in the county for when the sheriffs will start doing executions either. So we're just in line for that. In the city, it's better. In the city, they're starting to issue summonses for new cases, for new court dates. We've done a couple of WebEx dockets for old cases that were filed before the pandemic but didn't get court dates. And we have been told that the city sheriff is going to start doing evictions again, executions on June 22nd.
okay.
So if you are someone who has an execution in line, keep an eye on your phone and everything. When we file executions, we put our client's contact info on there so that the sheriff can call you directly and schedule the time that they're going to come. And maybe if you're filing your own, you're doing that too, or if you have a different attorney, but we think it's just not a good idea to do a lot of phone tag between the attorney and the client and the sheriff. So keep an eye on your phone for the sheriff calling you. St. Charles is going good. Chris just got back from another live docket out there. They're letting us come in. And it seems to me from their numbers on COVID cases, they're not having a spike or anything. So we might be good for a while out there. I mean, I want to get back in court, but I'm worried about pushing it too. I don't want more people to be sick. And Jefferson is starting with live dockets next week. Chris will be going down there next week for a live in-person docket. And I actually had a hearing yesterday that the other attorneys went to live, but I didn't have to go because my part was all worked out. And apparently that went well because they got an order and I got it already. So, you know, the smaller outlying counties are moving more quickly. And St. Louis County seems to be our big stumbling block right now. I mean, I'm writing begging emails to the presiding judge, asking him to do things. I am totally objecting myself to in front of these judges. And I'm going to lunch with a judge today. So it's a city judge, but she has connections in the county. So I'm working every angle, guys. I really am. And no one wants to make you happy more than me. And you know, we could use like some income, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, our PPP money has run out, so we're kind of floating out there in the ether now with respect to income. If you have anything you want me to work on, you know, I don't really have any skills other than lawyer, but
No haircuts?
oh my God, my hair is still horrible. My son who is my office manager, my older son, Carrie, and serves our papers in the county, you know, he's really suffering. His income's been cut down a lot because he's not doing the service. And he told me yesterday he was thinking about going to work at Schnucks as a shopper.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, Mom, you should do that. And I'm like, I have no interest. I have to go to the grocery store once a week now, and that's enough.
Yeah.
You especially don't want to get stuck in the cereal aisle, which whoever created the cereal aisle, there's a special place for them because it's ridiculous. So I totally agree with you. Don't be a shopper.
I know. And when I go to the store, those shoppers are there. And I go to the Deerbergs in Brentwood because my husband's always gone there and he knows where everything is. And he was the one who did the shopping before this happened. But, you know, it reminded me of all the reasons why I never did the shopping since I got married to him, because people leave their carts in the middle of the aisle. You know, there's people running around without masks. I mean, it's just horrible. You know, order a pizza. You don't need to be in the store.
Exactly.
Okay, so do we have any questions?
Well, Natalie said, will the St. Louis County courts be open for evictions next week? I currently have a court date 6/18. I think you kind of talked
I think
about
that you're going to be doing it remote. You're going to be doing it by Zoom. Do you want me, have you looked it up on CaseNet? Do you know what judge you're in front of?
Natalie, do you know what judge you're in front of?
Is she still there?
She's there somewhere.
I don't, and sorry, I don't have audio.
She don't
what
have
is-
audio. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the name of the person you are evicting? Last name first, if possible. Okay.
Yeah, just a quick question. How soon do they put things on CaseNet, Kathy?
Well, it has to be accepted by the clerk. And ordinarily that happens, like in the city and the county, almost immediately.
Okay.
I'm not sure what's been going on now because we haven't been getting stuff accepted as quickly.
I'm just curious. Somebody asked me the other day, and I know they're fairly quick normally. Yeah, okay, I guess you can see the name on there.
What's the first name?
James.
Okay.
Cody Walker.
So it should go up on there pretty quickly. Is it Real Estate Revolution
Yes.
or Christmas Island?
She said yes with Real Estate Revolution, I believe.
Okay. Okay. So that's us. Thank you. We will be doing that by Zoom. The judge, if the person shows up on Zoom, you know, if they call in, they've been sent instructions about how they call in and the meeting ID and all those things. And if they call in, the judge will send them into a breakout room with me or Chris while Christine's dealing with the docket. And if we can get them to do a consent judgment, we will do that. We will have them DocuSign it, and we will file it with the court immediately. Now, we're giving more time than we ordinarily would because of the uncertainty about the sheriff and that kind of thing. You should certainly talk to me or to Christine, Christine preferably, about your feelings about, what kind of a deal we can make. Christine will want an updated ledger through, if she hasn't called you already. She's out today. She's taking a much needed day off. And I'm taking a much needed day off too, because she's not in here in my office screaming about the latest things the courts have done. So it's kind of peaceful today. She's very much engaged with wanting to move her cases, I can tell you. You do not have a better advocate. But if it's possible, if you're in communication with the defendant, and we can talk to them ahead of time, you can get them to call us, or you can deal with them. We could do a consent judgment ahead of time and file it with the court. We would like that. The court would like that. The more cases we can get disposed of in advance. So they will not speak to us. Yeah, well, if they don't show up for the Zoom docket, our judge is letting us enter judgments. So again, we don't know when the sheriff will come, but at least we can get a judgment. If they show up and we can't get them to do a consent, I'm sorry to tell you that we're not sure when trials are going to be yet. They haven't figured that out yet. We have a really good judge in St. Louis County, Judge Lassiter. We love him. He works very hard. He, is doing everything he can to help us to get cases moved. Well, but at the same time being fair to all the parties. He says he's not leaving until the police come get him out. Well, we can arrange that. It's just going to take a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully he's so obstreperous he won't show up for the Zoom docket. We'll just be able to get a judgment. Okay. I think I saw more questions, but they went away and I don't know how to get them back.
Yeah, you got to go back. Okay. Michael asked, let's see here. 1, have you helped an investor owner with a self-storage facility located in Phelps County? And 2, can you help with an LLC setup? Questions mainly. That's a little bit off the subject. And then 3, quiet title.
A self-storage facility in Phelps County. I think not. I have a lawyer blog of real estate lawyers, and whoever that is, if you call me and give me your information, I'll go on that blog and try to see someone who might be able to help you down there.
And probably the same thing with the quiet title. Usually you want to get somebody locally from my experience.
Yeah. Where's the quiet title?
I believe that's Phelps County also.
Okay.
No, actually, I'm sorry. The quiet title is actually in St. Louis County.
Yeah, we would do that. You can call me 314-962-1115 extension 11. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to have a lot of free time today, but leave a message. I will get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
It might be tomorrow or next week, but yeah.
No problem. 962-1115 extension
11.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, was there another question?
Let's see here. Yes. Just by the March. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, somebody had one on a 1031. A different
person. Yeah.
Here we go.
I have a name, but if you've got one, if Dwayne has one, that's good.
Okay.
If Dwayne's person doesn't work out or isn't able to do it, call me. I've got another name. It's a guy in Jefferson County, but he'll do them up here, I think.
Okay. Okay. That's good, Alex. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it sounds like some pretty good updates, although maybe a step back with the security.
I know that's really unlucky for us. St. Louis County had been moving slowly before that because they had juveniles in detention that had COVID.
Oh.
And they got all that cleared up, and then they had the security guy. So we're and our presiding judge there is just being very cautious.
Understandably.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that, but I still think they could have the remote dockets at least.
That's a nice feature, actually. That seems to help everybody somewhat.
I would rather be in person, but you know, I was surprised at the fact that I was able to make deals with people remotely. I felt like I was better in person, but you know, we're doing okay. So
Yeah, I'd rather be live too with you every week, but I'm glad you're doing this far. It's because we couldn't do this every week. It's a
yeah,
big
and
help.
I think speaking into the future, we are going to be closed on July 3rd
Okay,
for the holiday. So maybe we'll skip that week if that's okay with everybody.
I think that's just fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just do our virtual lunch again that day.
Yeah.
That sounds fine. Okay, I'll make a note of that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so any other questions? Everybody good?
I think so. You've done such a good job keeping us updated, Kathy. Really, it's really been very helpful for us.
Well, it's kind of fun to do this every week because, you know, it makes us more mindful of what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, not that we don't know, but they have to come in and tell me what's happening and, you know.
And just for everybody out there too, just a quick shout out. If you go to Google and leave Kathy a good review, that's very helpful. It's Davis and Travaglini LLC. Go ahead and look up Kathy Davis on Google because I'll just read some. Some of them are comical to me. I mean, some of the people that didn't leave a good review obviously never used your service, or they were getting the other end of your service and they should have been paid.
Right. There are people I've sued. I mean, you know, I think the one called me the child of the devil. Well, if I'm suing someone and they think I'm the child of the devil, I'm probably doing a good job. But
I hope I get more comments like that.
Yeah.
That was
John left me a nice review, and I really appreciate it. I need someone to balance those tenants, and I can't really respond to them, you know, point by point because of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act.
Oh.
So all I can really say is whether or not a client, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's, I don't know. Most people, unfortunately, when they leave reviews, only leave bad ones.
Right.
Very rarely do people go just to leave a good review. They like something, but unless they have a problem, they won't take the time to do it. And really, we should take more time to do the good things, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Because it just, you know, it's the truth. You know, it's very much the truth. So,
Kathy, you can appeal as long as the Bar Association allows you, but you can appeal with Google the crazy reviews about you being the devil or some BS like that. Those can be appealed and they have been removed before.
Well, thanks. I think we just haven't bothered doing it because we hoped that if, you know, like a potential client looked us up and they saw that, they'd figure out that, you know, that's somebody I've sued because I do post, they're not a client, you know.
I can actually help you with that. I'm afraid that people look at the number and they don't read, you know, you probably run into. But yeah, I'm happy to help you with that.
I'm pretty naive about social media, I think. Or pretty unknowing.
Too many opinions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
We appreciate the update, Kathy, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. And have a good 4th of July, whatever you might be doing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.